Hello everyone. I'm just setting up now. I see in the chat group people are joining. How's everyone doing today? Please let me know you can hear me okay. Can everyone hear me? Okay. I see in the group here we have Layla. She's always here. Lily. Andre, welcome back. Prakar, always here. Okta, welcome. Grace, I guess Grace is home. Fanny, welcome. Okay, welcome. I'm just setting up, getting more people into the group right now. Right now, everyone should be preparing their English questions. If you're new to the channel, my name is Robin Shaw. I am a Canadian teacher living and teaching English in Korea. And today I'm going to do an English Q&A. You have English questions and I have the answers. Well, I hope I have the answers. I will try my best to answer your questions. So everyone right now, you should try to make good questions. So it's very important when you write questions that you make sure your grammar is correct in the question. And if you can, please give some example sentences to help me understand the question you're asking about. So whenever you have questions, you can start putting your questions in the chat anytime. If you're watching this video and you do not see the chat room is very important. So you need to log in to YouTube to participate in the chat, because I'm going to check all the questions in the chat, and sometimes I answer directly in the chat room. Okay. I don't see any questions yet. Nobody has questions. You're just gonna stare at me. This is for the question time. If you have a question, now is the time to ask. Okay, I'm just... Subtitled movie clips. Subtitled movie clips. Do you have a name? Because you've been here a few times, and it would be nice to know your name so I can call your name instead of subtitled movie clips every time. And Layla, you can call me any way you like. Okay, so Lily, I like to call people by their names in the chat. I know you have different names, but I want to say your chat names so everyone can understand who I'm looking at, who I'm talking about. Because Layla, many people just see Lily. They don't know you're Layla. So I should say Lily, and then other people can see who I'm talking about. Naduli Rogers. Nice to meet you here once again. Hello, Naduli. Where are you from? Oh, it would be really great if everyone just quickly typed which country they are from. Subtitled movie clips. I am Kevin. Kevin, where are you from? Ms. Priel. Very official, Ms. Priel. It's first time to be here. Glad to meet you. I was very happy to meet you too. Andre. Oh, Andre has a very good question. Robin, is the stream on Sunday the last in this year? No, it's not the last this year, but I have very big news on Sunday. So I'm not going to tell you guys now. You should watch the Sunday show, and I'm going to give you big news about what's happening. Yeah, Grace is from Korea. Grace, I check the, I check who's watching all my videos, and my audience, 6% of my audience come from Korea. So out of 100 viewers, six of them are Korean. Ms. Priel from Kurdistan. Oh, okay. I've never been to Kurdistan, but I will go there one day, and hopefully I can meet you and talk to you. Okta, I don't know what to ask. Well, this is English question time. So if anyone has an English question, and hopefully if you're good students and you've been studying all week, you're reading and writing, you've thought of some questions and you thought, well, this is a good question to ask Robin. Ifra Jan, hey. Hey back. Where are you from, Ifra? Dooley Rogers, we meet together, WhatsApp group called Plastic Makes Perfect, or Practice. I think you mean Practice Makes Perfect, not plastic. This is plastic. Oh, WA2D, WA2D, from LOL from Korea too. Okay, WA2D, what's your name? Which city are you from in Korea? Nuduli Rogers, I'm from UAE. Maybe, what's UEA? UAE, United Arab Emirates. What's UEA? Okay, so Lila Al-Lili, does using that in the sentence is correct. Example, people say that, yeah, people say that, that's correct, I'm unfriendly, but that's how you say that in the sentence. But I don't think people say you are unfriendly, Lila Al-Lili. You are very friendly. Ifra, oh, Ifra, there's Sema. I know you from the group then. WA2D, he asked the question, can I say, I'm gonna kill you to my friend just as a joke? Well, that's your friend. You can say anything as a joke to your friend, but yeah, you can say, I'm gonna kill you. Sometimes I say that to my students. They don't do their homework, so I say, I'm going to kill you, as a joke. Rosa's here. Hey, Rosa. Yeah, Nuduli was practice. Grace, when is your flight to go America? Yeah, it's not the English Q&A. Can we have live stream when you go to USA too, or we are going? No, I will talk. I'll talk about that on Sunday, Grace, about my upcoming trip and live streaming. Naduli Rogers, yeah, UAE, United Arab Emirates. I haven't been there yet, but I'd love to go there soon. All right, guys. If you're new to the channel, I go live 4 times a week, and usually same time, well, always the same time. Usually, I think Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. So the next time I'm going live will be Saturday. I'm going to talk about Proverbs on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm going to talk about travel. So if you're interested in those topics, watch me Saturday, Sunday. Same time. If you want to talk to me directly, check the links in the description. I have a lot of groups, and you can send me a message and join my groups, and we can interact in those groups every day. Every day I check those groups. So if you want to join my groups, you're welcome. Come, join us. No problem. And of course, my social media here, I have the other YouTube channel, Shaw English Online. That's my main channel, but this is the new channel I'm starting, Learn English Live. It's just starting, a couple weeks. It's growing, and I hope to have different teachers in the future. I know you guys are going to be sick of me seeing me 4 days a week, but I hope to have different teachers, hopefully every day. That would be awesome if we could have different teachers every day. And yeah, so Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, join, participate, get active in learning English. I'm here to help you. Kevin, subtitled movies clips. I tried to join your WhatsApp group, but you can't join this group because the invite was revoked. Okay, I will, I'll check that right now because it's very important. I'm checking WhatsApp, so I'm fixing that link now. Maybe try that. Maybe try the link now, and tell me if it's okay, because it's very important people join the WhatsApp group. Let's see. Susanna Sanchez. Hi, Robin. How are you? I am very busy these days, but nice to see you. Naduli Rogers, talk about simple past tense. Naduli, this is not a class, so I would rather, talk about simple past tense. I could talk 2 hours about simple past tense. So this is more if you have a direct question, you've been studying every day, and in your studies you have a question, then talk about it. I'm not going to teach a class in this video. In another video, I might teach the simple. Well, I'm sure one day I'll teach about simple past tense in detail. All right, Lily, what's the difference between this car is mine and this is my car? Well, they mean the same thing. This car is mine. This is my car. They mean the same thing. It depends the situation of how you would say that. Summer S. Are no good and not good have the same meaning? Good question. Generally, yes. They like lilies. It depends on the situation, how people are trying to express themselves, but they do mean the same thing. If I said, my car is no good, yeah, that would mean the same as my car is not good. Okay? Now, probably speaking, we might use no good for speaking, but if you're doing writing on a test, probably writing not good is better than no good. He's no good. Rosa, internet problem, sorry. I know. These live streams are very difficult because I know a lot of people don't have good internet, and a lot of people don't see high quality. You actually see low quality. I'm very sorry for that, but I'm very happy that even if the video is low quality, you're still here participating. Good students. We don't need good quality video. We don't need fast internet, do we? Grace, recently I am reading a book every single day, more than 30 minutes. Good job, Grace. But I don't know how much I can understand. Main idea I can understand. I have to skip so many words. Is it okay? It's not okay, Grace. That book is, the level is too high. Remember, with reading books, everyone listen. Everyone listen. When you have your book and you're reading your book, it is very important that you understand, let's say, 90% of the book. Okay? Or more. If you don't understand 90%, don't read that book. It is too high. When you understand 90%, you're learning the extra percent. Okay, that's more manageable. Maybe 95% is better. So when you read a page of the book, there should be 2, maybe 3 words you don't understand. And the secret to reading is not quality, but quantity. So quality is you're trying to read perfectly, trying to understand the grammar, the word, you're checking the dictionary on the words. So it takes you a long time to read one page. Okay, that's quality. That's wrong. You want quantity. You want to read and read and read and read fast, quickly. Keep reading, 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 reading. Then you will learn the vocabulary and the grammar in a more efficient way. So for reading, quantity, you want to be able to read as much as you can. Get that input as much as you can. Don't spend too much time on a page. What does this mean? Checking. What does this mean? Checking. No, no, no. So try to understand each page 90 to 95%. Well, I hope that answers your question, Grace. Carrie, how to memorize English sentences quickly. Carrie, first of all, hello, Carrie. And second, to answer your question, how to memorize English sentences quickly. Why do you want to memorize English sentences? You shouldn't be trying to, I guess, common sentences or common expressions you should try to memorize, like nice to meet you or things like that, the basics. The best way is flashcard. And one moment. Sorry, I left the screen, but I want to show Carrie what I do to learn Korean sentences. So as many of you know, I'm in Korea here, and I have to study. This is how I study Korean. So I make common sentences. To memorize them, I make the flashcards. So one side Korean and sometimes the other side English. And I just, whenever I'm on the bus or not doing anything, I just go through my flashcards in my free time. So I do this when I study Korean, and I got thousands and thousands of flashcards. So whenever I'm bored, I'll just pick up one of these randomly and go through it, and that really helps me to memorize a lot of Korean sentences. So I hope that helps. I got so many of these. But, you know, not everyone has time to do that. But if you want to learn English, you got to put in the time and effort. It's not easy. Okay, hope that answers your question, Carrie. WA2, thanks. I have another question. Rad is common slang. It means kind of awesome or something. Yes, WA2D. It's a good question. Again, with questions, try to have example sentences. But rad is slang, and so another slang, let's put awesome. This is awesome. This is an awesome movie. So slang awesome, but we could also use rad. Now, it's slang, but it used to be more common, but I haven't heard that in a long, long time. So it's very interesting that you're asking about that. It is slang, but it's not so common anymore. Well, I don't know about all parts of the world, but I think that slang is disappearing. But it means awesome. Andre! Coming back to previous stream about within. Okay. Is it correct sentence? I'm going to sleep within an hour. That is correct. And by the way, is 1.5 hours typing as an hour and a half? Yeah. If you want to write 1.5 hours, casually you would write that. If you're texting someone, you could write 1.5 hours. So, but in formal writing, you can't do this. This is okay with your friends, family, whatever. But if you were writing, let's say, an essay, you have to write an hour and a half. They mean the same thing, but most native speakers just do this because it's easy. So we don't want to write or type an hour and a half. Oh, we have BTS here. Awesome. BTS. Heart. That's a little heart. This is probably not related to the type of subject you're working on these days or the next week, I guess, but do you have any advice? Advice is uncountable or clear process to go with to level up from being. Well, BTS, I don't understand your question exactly. Are you talking about leveling up your English? Is that what you're talking about, BTS? Why don't you clear up your question? I'll come back to it later. Subtitle movie clips. Kevin, it hasn't been fixed yet. What are you talking about? It hasn't been fixed yet. Oh, it really? Oh, the link? Okay. I'll put the link in the chat. Check that link for the link to the WhatsApp group. All right, let's see. WA2 and also American accent and Canadian accent is different so much. They are similar for me. Yeah, Canadian accent and American accent generally the same, but you know, in America and Canada, there's different regions. These are big countries, so each region has a different accent. But of course, an American and a Canadian, we understand each other's accent very well. Some differences, and I'll tell you one story. I met two guys from, I think they were from Utah. I met them in Korea here. There were two guys, two Americans from Utah. And one of the guys said, "Isn't it hot today?" I was like, what? He said, "Isn't it hot today?" And I was, oh, I'd never heard that before. Because I say, if I'm asking, like just saying the question, isn't it hot today? Isn't it hot today? But he pronounced it, "Isn't it? Isn't it hot today?" So there are some differences depending on the region. Stanley, hello. Oh, BTS, from being upper intermediate to more advanced level, how to gain more diversity and actually use it in normal talk. I think you're talking about English, BTS. If your level is upper intermediate, listen to me, BTS. Do not study English anymore. What I mean is, don't open textbooks, don't go to English classrooms. You are at the stage you have to start using English like a native speaker. So you're getting your entertainment in English and you're speaking more to English speakers. So to get out of intermediate into advanced stop studying grammar. You're finished studying grammar. You really have to start using it. I hope that answers your question. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Oh, Rosa. Have got and have. Do they have the same meaning? Generally, yes. Native speakers kind of use those for the same meaning. So, for example, I have got to go home. I have to go home. They have the same meaning. Grammatic on a grammatic test, they're going to be a little bit different, but I would have to research the exact rules of why they are different. I'm not going to do that now, Rosa, but for speaking, they're going to have the same meaning. The native speaker is probably going to use I have got to go for more emphasis. More emphasis. I've got to go home now. Okay, they want to emphasize that they got to go now. Fanny, looks like you're asking a detailed grammar question. Warning to all, if you ask a complicated grammar question, the best place to ask grammar questions is on the my Facebook page, because grammar questions take a lot of time to answer, and I've taught grammar a lot, but it's very important that when I'm talking the answer or giving the answer to grammar questions that I don't make a mistake. Anyway, Fanny asks, present perfect tense. I've read this book. Present perfect continuous. I've been reading this book. What's the difference? I think the sentences have the same meaning. No. I've read this book. That means you finished the book. Just I want to check. Yeah, your present perfect tense is, that's not, you're using that incorrect. I've read this book means you finished the book. So yeah, if you're talking about right now, I've read this book. It means you finished the book. I have been reading this book means you're still reading. It's continuous. You're still reading the book. Grace. Okay, anyway, I'll finish this book even though there are so many vocabulary. Don't say vocabulary that I don't understand, but it is fun. It gives me something after that I will find easy book. Yeah, Grace, quantity, many books. If you get a difficult book, and it's difficult, most people don't finish those books. When you finish a book, wow, you feel really good. I finished this book. What's the next book? But if you have a difficult book, you're gonna hate English. Okay, Summer, what's the difference between... Oh, I'm about 10 minutes behind in my questions. I got to speed up a little bit, guys, so sorry. Because, 10 minutes between questions is very dangerous, because when some people ask the question and then they leave. And then when I finally get to their question, I answer the question, they're not even here. So I gotta go quicker. Summer, what's the difference between talk to and talk with? Generally the same. Again, that's going to be the situation. I can't think of every... situation right now. Because there's not just talk to and talk with. There's talk about, talk over, talk. Yeah, I checked the internet and it brought up a good point. Talk to kind of means one way talking. Talk with has a sense of two people talking. So if I said, I talked to my children last night, or I talked to my children last night, probably you're talking to your children. I talked with my children. There was some conversation. I talked to them, they talked back. So that's the sense of it. But generally speaking, they mean the same thing. Native speakers are probably going to use those, not always in the right way, but all right. Eder Ribeiro, 2019, I have a goal to speak English fluently. Well, Eder, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. You should have realistic goals. I'm not a teacher that encourages unrealistic goals. So saying in 1 year you're going to be fluent, I would say maybe that's unrealistic. You should plan steps. So if you are intermediate now, maybe in 6 months you want to be upper intermediate. And then another 6 months you want to be lower advanced. Okay, I want to be fluent this year. If you're already advanced student, yeah, maybe fluency takes a long time. Prakar, Robin, you've been a great help. Thank you, Prakar. BTS, that's a wonderful idea. The flashcards, I'm going to do it for Spanish. Well, I was a little crazy about it. Thousands and thousands of cards, and I was always checking them. Ronald Perez, hello, welcome. Greetings from Nicaragua. Thanks a lot for your suggestions. Advices is, you guys, advice is uncountable. So we can't use the S. Thank you for your advice. Okay, I'm glad to help. And I will be in Nicaragua in January. So hopefully I can meet you, Ronald Perez. Grace, how about this? I'm going to sleep within an hour. I'm going to sleep in an hour. Okay, so that's a little different. Within an hour means from now until the hour is finished. So any time within that time. I'm going to sleep in an hour means you're going to sleep at that time, 1 hour later. Karina Lopez, hello. Hello, Robin. How do you feel? I feel great. Thank you for joining. Luciana Dewey, hello. Welcome. Hi, Robin. Okay. Golfian, sorry if I can't remember her name. Golfrey. It's hard to remember names from around the world. Remember, I talk to hundreds of students every day. I try to remember names. But if you keep talking to me, it helps if you write your name again to remind me. BTS, well, I guess YouTube, just like Twitter, you only have limited words to type. I'm not sure what you mean, BTS. Luciana, I'm very late here from Indonesia. Welcome. I've been to Indonesia, Jakarta and Bali last February. Grace, books back cover, there are US dollars and Canadian dollars for price. because they sell the same book both countries? Yep. Usually books printed in North America will have Canadian prices and American prices. We both use the dollar, but they're a little bit different value. Subtitled movie clips. Kevin, in your opinion, what's the hardest thing to learn in English? The hardest thing to learn in English is probably phrasal. One of the hardest is the phrasal verbs. So verb and preposition. And I'll do a live stream in the future about this. So you take any verb. So I'll use the verb take, and then you take any preposition. So on, in, up, over, with. It never ends, all the prepositions. So this verb, this preposition, take on. Take on in English might have 3 or 4 different meanings. Take in. Take in English might have 3 or 4 different meanings or more, depending on the situation. Take up. Take up can have 3 or 4 meanings, depending on the situation. Take over can have 3 or... So it's very complicated because one phrasal verb can have many meanings. You have to know the context, the situation, when to use that meaning. So one verb with so many prepositions has, hundreds of meanings. And then how many verbs are there in the English language? And each verb with prepositions have, you take the verbs, you take the prepositions. There's so many combinations. There's so many meanings. It's thousands and thousands of different English expressions that you can't memorize. You can't sit down and memorize the phrasal verbs. You have to learn them from context. So you have to be exposed to a lot of input of listening or watching videos or talking to people. And when they use the phrasal verbs, you can understand the meaning and when to use it. This is very complicated. This is for advanced students. And even, you're studying English 20 years, you might not master phrasal verbs. So this is probably one of the hardest things to study in English. Thanui, hello again. What, Lily, what does seize in this sentence? Seize the eat, drink, and be merry. Seize, I'm not sure where you got that sentence, Layla. I'm just going to see if, because the sentence seems a little awkward. Because we usually say seize the day, which is, the Latin term carpe diem, seize the day. But the verb seize is to get something strongly. Seize, very strong to get something. So seize the eat, drink, and be merry. That sentence is a little awkward. I don't know where you got it, but that would mean to grab the food and the drink and the happiness. Grab it, be tight. Enjoy it strongly. WA2, it's really helpful and fun. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Florin, hello, welcome. Susanna Sanchez, what about talk, say, tell, speak? Susanna, I'm about 12 minutes behind. I hope you're still here, Susanna. Talk, say, tell, speak. That's a very good question, but that would take me too long to answer that. But I promise you, in the future, I will do a future video about those verbs, because it's a little bit complicated to teach right now, Susanna. That'll take a lot of time. BTS, thank you. Florin Baku, should I read Shakespeare? Florin, no, don't read Shakespeare. I studied a lot of Shakespeare. If you're interested in Old English as a hobby, read Shakespeare. Is it going to help you improve your English now? No, it's just going to make you hate English. Shakespeare is written in English that is, English from 400 years ago. It's very different. We don't use a lot of those expressions now. Sometimes the grammar has changed. So I wouldn't recommend to any student to read Shakespeare. I would recommend, Florin, you read a modern play if you're interested in that. Even native speakers now, I studied Shakespeare, but still it's difficult for me. But if you don't study Shakespeare, native speakers have problems. Fenny, how's a good way to learn vocabularies? As I said, I like the flashcards. I write the Korean, moja, and then on the back, hat, and I just go through these to memorize. Karina Lopez. We can get good fluency if we practice or use the language, I think. Yeah, that's the only way to be fluent, is to practice and use the language. Andre, Robin, what do you think about space repetition with flashcards after an hour, after a few hours, after a day, after a week, after 2 weeks? Well, Andre, let me explain it this way. Everyone has their own way to study English. Now, normally, I don't recommend flashcards to my students. As you guys know, usually just reading. But, sometimes I do flashcards because it's just comfortable for me. It might not be the best way, but it's comfortable to me. So, Andre, my advice to everyone here, you're asking the best way. I can tell you the best way, but I really want you to study English in the comfortable way. And the comfortable way is not always the best way. But the comfortable way, you will do it. You will continue to do it. So, Andre, to answer your question there, do what you feel is helping you in a comfortable way. Tika, I'm late, no problem. Okay, he uses pieces of advice. Andre, thank you for many pieces of advice, right? That's right. Tika, why English has many meanings in one word, make me confused about it. Sorry, Tika, I did not invent the language, but I will help you to understand it. Summer, I'm getting caught up on the questions here. Sorry if I'm going so fast. If I don't answer your question, just ask again. How to pronounce dogs, girls. Okay, you mean dogs plural? The possessive of dogs. The possessive sounds like the same. Dogs. Let me write a sentence. I hope I got my grammar correct here. So I think you're asking, because we're talking about many dogs, and then you want to say many dogs they're possessing the bones. So we don't usually write this in English. Dogses. So in English, we usually put the apostrophe there to show many dogs possess the possessive of this. Those are the dog's bones. Those are the dog's bones. You can't say those are the dog's bones. You got to say those are the dog's bones. Yeah. If you're confused, ask me again. Florin Baku, I have a question for Fanny. Do you consider a realistic goal to go from A2 to B1 in the German language? Well, that's a good question for Fanny. And one day Fanny will do a live stream, but not today. So sorry, Florin. Motaz Aldam. Hi. Well, welcome, Motaz. Where are you from, Motaz? I have a problem with forget the vocabulary quickly. Oh, there's a lot of vocabulary questions today. I'm glad I have my flashcards here. When I studied Korean, I studied Korean for the test taking purpose because I don't use Korean every day as a language. So I needed to take a Korean test. And the Korean test was not a speaking test. It was only a writing test. So I had to get a level 2 in Korean. And a level 2 in Korean, you should know 4,000, I think it was 4,000 Korean words. So, and how to use them in sentences. So I had about, 8 months before the test. So yeah, right away, all 4,000 words and vocabulary I put on cards. So I started off with the words, just the vocabulary words. And so many, like I say, every day, randomly, I go for a walk. I would just go through the cards, try to memorize them, and that helped. And then from the words, I jumped to sentences using those words. And again, I just wrote it down, every new sentence. And as I'm walking, I check it every day. And then when it came time to write my test, yeah, no problem. The test was easy because I studied the vocabulary. I could understand the test questions and everything. That's not really practical for improving your speaking because if you meet me, my Korean speaking is terrible. That's one reason because I focused more on memorizing vocabulary for a writing test. Didn't really help me with speaking. My advice for speaking is if you have new vocabulary and you're meeting someone, you should try to use that new vocabulary as soon as you can. Just writing it on a card does not mean you know it, and it does not mean you know how to use it. So it's really important you practice using what you learn. If you learn a new word, try to use it the next time you're speaking English. Subtitle movie clips. What's the pronunciation? The letter G as J. Is there a rule or something? No. There's no rule. You have to know the words. And let's look at this word. So how many G's do you see? Two G's, but is the sound the same of these two G's? Listen if I say garage. Garage. Are the G's the same? No. G, and that's more zh. So what's the rule? You just have to know the word. G as J. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good word with G and J. I can't find right now. But anyway, there's no rule. Good luck. Sorry. Susanna, thank you. Florin. Robin, do you know where I can get Shakespeare in modern English? I don't think they write Shakespeare in modern English. And you shouldn't read Shakespeare in modern English. The point of Shakespeare is how he uses the English language, how he makes the English language beautiful. If you're really interested in Shakespeare, yeah, I suggest maybe you watch a movie, a Shakespeare movie, because the movies often, simplify the Shakespeare so the audience can understand. So I would recommend Much Ado About Nothing or Othello, those movies. Romeo and Juliet, my favorite Shakespeare movie or play and movie. I'd recommend that to make it more entertaining and easy to absorb what they're talking about. Dushyant, Rana, how to speak words ending in ing like going, playing, speaking, and listening. There you go. How to speak. Are you asking about pronunciation? Going. I'm going crazy. I'm playing cards. I'm speaking English. I'm listening to music. Stanley asks, Robin, what's the difference between glamour and popular? Those are very different words if you check the dictionary. Glamour is from glamorous, which is an adjective to describe a movie star. She's glamorous. So we do not describe men as glamorous. Those are usually very beautiful, sexy movie stars. We see them and say, oh, she's so glamorous. Popular, everyone can be popular. All movie stars are popular, men, women. You don't have to be beautiful. You don't have to be sexy. So, for example, if I'm talking about, let's see, Tom Cruise. Yeah, Tom Cruise is a popular actor, but he's not glamorous. A glamorous actress would be, I don't know. Let's see. I can't think of. Glamorous. Well, I typed in glamorous actress and it showed Charlize Theron, if you know her. She could be a glamorous actress. I hope that answers your question. Oh, Marilyn Monroe, if you know, she's a very famous actress. Marilyn Monroe, she is probably an icon of glamour, glamorous. So very beautiful, sexy, and she's also popular. Luciana, I study English literature as my major in college. Me too. But I'm not sure to speak up English when my literature used to ask some questions. Do you have any suggestions or advice? Okay. My advice to all students here, it's very important. If you want to study English and you want to improve, and your goal is to be fluent or advanced one day, You cannot be shy. Okay? Shy people do not become fluent. It's impossible. You cannot be shy. In your class, you have to speak up. You have to speak up. The more you speak up, the more your confidence will grow. But, I say this because in my classes, I usually have 40 students. So it's very difficult for people to speak up. But there are some who try. They don't care about the other students. They try to improve their English. They speak up. Of course, there's many mistakes in their English, but when they make the mistakes, I'm fixing their mistakes, and they're becoming better. The people that are shy, I don't know their mistakes. I can't fix their mistakes. So they're going to keep those mistakes forever. All of you, if you want to be fluent, you can't be shy. So right now, decide in your life, are you shy or not shy? If you're shy, I'm sorry, you're not gonna improve your English very well. You have to be outgoing. You have to really, really try to speak. Okay. Florin, should we pass language tests when we move abroad? For immigration, I don't think there's I don't know. There's a language test, but usually for students, of course, they have to take TOEFL test or IELTS test if they want to study university in a foreign country. But moving abroad, you will probably have an interview. So whatever country you want to move to, there's probably an interview, and you should have the language skills to pass that interview. Dushyant Rana, I sometimes get confused with tongue placement in mouth, in words vision, zoo, measure, judge. Yep. Those words, that's more of a French sound. That sound comes from France. It's difficult to say for native speakers too. When children are growing up, those words with those pronunciation, it's very difficult. So I sometimes get confused with the tongue placement. So I'm going to think words, vision, yeah, zoo, measure, judge. Yeah, it's difficult tongue placement because it's not touching the teeth. It's not touching the top of the mouth. It's more in the middle center, pushing out. So yeah, it takes a lot of practice to get that tongue placement. And remember, all pronunciation problems is a physical problem. It means your placement, mouth, your cheeks, your teeth, your tongue, all of that have to be in a perfect place to make the same sounds as a native speaker. But my philosophy is we live in an international world now. Good pronunciation means I understand the word. You don't have to talk like an American or British person. Just when I talk to you and you say zoo, I understand the word. If I understand you said the word zoo, your pronunciation is perfect. It doesn't have to be the same as me. Garbage. Yeah, garbage is like garage, different G's. Graceland, that is hard. Korean is easy to read. Even if I don't know meaning of the word, I can speak correctly. But for English, I have to find it in dictionary to pronounce it correctly. Well, Korean is easy to read because your letter system is modern. I don't know, it's a few hundred years old. English letter alphabet is thousands of years old. So in the future, Korea letter system will change to more difficult. Yeah, for everyone, Korea is really easy to read. It's probably one of the easiest languages in the world to read. To learn the alphabet and read. You can do it the same day. Learn the alphabet and start reading. But the language of Korean is not easy. And I could talk about that in another video because I know why Korea is not easy. Subtitled movie clips. Do you have... I'm about 8 minutes behind. Do you have pronunciation lessons in store? I don't have pronunciation lessons, but if you go to my Shaw English online YouTube channel, there's pronunciation videos there. Fanny teaches some pronunciation videos. Lily, excuse me, I've written a suggestion for you in the comments, but I don't know whether you read it or not. Write it again, Lily. Or Layla, write it again. My comment screen is very small, guys, so I see one comment. Sometimes I scroll too fast and I miss a comment. I'm very sorry. Just write it again if I miss a question or comment. Andre, I think pronunciation of G depends on a letter after G or O, like gorgeous, God. Yeah, Andre, there are some rules. There are some rules, but I don't want you to learn that way. I don't want you to learn the rules of pronunciation. I want you just to practice the words. Write the words, all the G words on the card, and just practice how they are said, every word. Memorize all the G words in the English language. Don't try to memorize the rules because in pronunciation, there's a lot of exceptions to the rules. And when you're looking at a word, I don't want you to be thinking of the rules of what I should do. Just practice the words directly. Thanks, Robin from Stanley. Tika, when we talk probably in conversation. Probably is like a maybe. A stronger maybe. Are you going to the temple tomorrow? Probably. So like 90% sure. Lily, how to pronounce this? Months. Oh. These are difficult words, Layla. Difficult. So yeah, it's difficult because the TH sound there. Well, this is more difficult because we have an N TH sound. So we gotta get the consonants blended together. Very difficult. So listen to me. This is how a native speaker would say that. Months. We don't. It's difficult when I'm focusing on the word. I want to say it naturally. Months. So the TH is reduced. Months. It's there, but it's highly reduced. Close. Very difficult. Wait, I got to drink a little water. How long? Oh, we're over an hour now. There is a cheat. I'm a teacher. I shouldn't be teaching you this, but in the emergency situation, don't try to pronounce the TH sound. Months. So if you say months, if you said 3 months, everyone's going to understand you because the TH is so reduced, so quiet, that it's not so important to the sound of the word. But I want you to sound close to me. So months, clothes, difficult. But you can say months, clothes. Everyone will understand you. Florin, why do people read Shakespeare? Shakespeare is a beautiful writer for the English literature. Shakespeare was a genius. He wrote amazing plays. And then modern movies and everything, was based on a lot on Shakespeare. Subtitled movie clips. Kevin, Fanny teaches British English. I prefer American English. Fanny is a British. She has a weak British accent. She has a British accent, but it's weak. It's not a strong British accent. So when she's teaching pronunciation, it's not strong British. It's a weaker British. But most of the words she's teaching have the same pronunciation in American English. So it's still a good way to study. Grace, for native speakers, face to new words that you don't know, can you read correctly without dictionary? Sure. Most words, if I see a new English word, and most of the time I can read without dictionary because I have a sense of what that word is. Tika, clothes sounds like clothes for me. Yeah, Tika, it's not exactly the same sound, clothes and clothes, but if you can cheat in English and just say, oh, look at my clothes. And the native speaker probably wouldn't even know the difference if you just said clothes, C-L-O-S-E. Look at my clothes. Native speaker would probably not notice. Tika, there are homophones. They can be depending on the region. Depending on the region, they can be homophones, but not always. Not always. Cyreneo Prado, teacher, do you speak Korean? Is it hard? Well, I don't speak Korean so much. Is it hard? No, I don't think Korean is hard. If you want to be fluent, yeah, you got to spend a lot of time and effort, but I don't think it's so hard. Samuel, hi, what are you teaching today? Today is just Q&A. There's no topic today, just you ask a question, I answer. Kevin, subtitled movie clips. Yeah, but too many homophones make me a little confused. For the homophones, yeah, there's not that many in English. You can learn them all and just put them all on the cards and memorize all the homophones. There's not so many. Akib Ahmad Khan. Hi, Mr. Shaw, I'm here. Hello, sir. Florin, how to spot the difference in pronunciation between deer and deer? Well, in American pronunciation, that's the same. Deer. It's the same pronunciation. But British pronunciation might be different. I'm just going to check that. Deer. I don't know how the British people will pronounce that. My internet is slow. Maybe because of the live stream is making difficult to load up internet. Yeah, for Florent, for American pronunciation, it's the same sound. It's probably the same sound for British pronunciation in the British way, but they might have a difference. Karina Lopez, give an example, please, with deer and deer. Deer is an animal. So I'm going to go hunting and I'm going to shoot a deer. And then deer, I might start a letter. Dear John, dear. Grace, is there any book there are lists of the phrasal verbs? Grace, that is exactly the wrong way, without a doubt, the wrong way to study phrasal verbs. That would be the biggest mistake of your life, and the biggest waste of money in your life is to buy a book on phrasal verbs looking at the lists. There are those books, but that is absolutely the wrong way to study phrasal verbs. You can read that book 100 times. You will never understand phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs, you need exposure to real situations. The book is artificial. Luciana Dewey, my literature always used British accent to listening class. It's a little bit challenging to me. It's like a schwa sound. I don't know. Don't worry, Luciana. Just don't worry about that. As a teacher, and I travel to many countries, I have to train my ear to listen to different accents. And you guys too. Don't train your ear just British accent or American accent. The world is international now. There are thousands and thousands of different English accents. Don't train your ear to an American accent. That would be terrible. Train your ear to understand the differences in accents. You're going to, if you go out traveling, most of the people you're talking to have different accents. So you should be able to say, oh, I understand you. Not, I don't understand you because you don't have an American accent. Oh, that's not right, guys. Karina, I gave the example for deer and deer. I'm going to shoot a deer. I love you, dear. Dear. Fanny, Robin, please pronounce dare, 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 there. There. See my tongue for there? Dare, there. Tika, how to pronounce? Oh, so this is short E, long E. It, eat. Look at my eat, eat. It, eat. It, eat. It's, east. Is, ease. Okay, so the long E is more stress, tighter. E. It, eat. It's, east. Is, ease. Yeah, Florin, I want to buy a book of phrasal verbs. Same as Grace. What a waste of time. You're absolutely learning the wrong way. As a teacher, I would recommend to buy a phrasal verb book 0%. What a waste of time. You cannot learn phrasal verbs from a book. Impossible. And Florin, yeah, the British pronunciation of deer is the same. Dear, dear. But they say dear. Samuel, Luna, can you teach how to ask some food in a restaurant or pay the bill? Okay, I think you're asking me to teach some expressions. I'm not going to teach in this video. I'll do that in another video. This is just to answer questions. So if you have a specific question, to order food just very quickly, I would say, can I have a hamburger? And pay the bill. I want to pay the bill. Or excuse me, Check, please. Yeah, Florin on bookstore at mall. Yeah, there's lots of phrasal verb books. Florin and Grace, you guys should not be studying any English books. Get away from studying. You have to get to the authentic material. Get out of that, oh, I need to sit down and study. No. Cirineo Prado. Teacher, what do you like? Your question is not very clear, man. Teacher, what did you like on free time when you lived in Canada? You should ask, what did you like to do in your free time? I haven't lived in Canada in 20 years, so when I was in Canada, I was very young. In my free time, I used to play computer games. I don't play computer games now. Subtitle movie clips. American homophones are a bit different from British homophones. Some words are homophones in American English, but they're not in British English. That could be true. Do you have an example? Oh, Cirineo, what did you like to do? What do you like to do is asking now. In my free time, I have no free time. How to pronounce asked? Asked. There's a T sound, asked. Okay, and subtitle Kevin there, subtitle movie clips, asked. You got the T sound at the end, asked. Dear, oh, Andre, dear, I've just seen a deer. Yeah, that's a good example. Hey, dear, talking to your loved one, your partner. Dear, I've just seen a deer, the animal. Dear, dear. Florin, don't study textbooks. Florin, get away. You have to get more. How many English languages are there in the world? There's thousands of different ways to speak English. Every country has their own English. Andre, Cambridge's phrasal verbs in use. Yeah, what a waste of money. How to pronounce we're pleased. We're pleased. Florin, can I make my own English language? Yeah, Florin, your pronunciation now is your pronunciation. That's your language. Fanny asked, Robin, please make videos about all grammar. That is going to be my teacher Esther's job. Esther's going to make the videos about all grammar because Esther, she teaches in a very nice way. She's very sweet, easy to understand. My style is too strong sometimes. So Esther's going to teach about grammar, so we'll be making more grammar videos soon. And Florin, did you consider learning Esperanto? Good question, Florin. No. The quick answer is no, because I never seen the use of it. It's a good idea for Esperanto, but I've never seen a practical use when I traveled. So I have low motivation. Cirineo Prado, teacher, would you suggest for us some series to watch from Canada? TV series. There's two Canadian TV shows that I'm going to recommend. If you're really interested in, I'll write them here actually. The first one is called Corner Gas. And the second one is called Kim's Convenience. These are two Canadian TV shows. Corner Gas is about a gas station in rural Canada. And Kim's Convenience is about the Korean family with a convenience store in Canada. These are popular in Canada. I recommend them both. If you're interested in Canadian English, Canadian culture. Grace asks, can we watch that on YouTube? I don't know. I've watched a few episodes of Corner Gas and Kim's Convenience. I'm not a fan of Canadian content. I like American TV shows better, but yeah, some of their episodes are good. I don't know if you can find them on YouTube because those are copyrighted. You can probably download them. Oh, we're out of questions. All right, guys. Then I'll recommend American one too. For America one, America has so many TV shows. For studying English, I recommend usually Modern Family. I recommend that. That's a good thing, good show to learn about humor. Okay, guys. All right, I've been talking for an hour and 21 minutes. It's 11:51 p.m. in Korea now. I'm going to finish this live stream in about 2 minutes. So if you have any last comments or questions, excuse me, start writing them now. Florin, I am surrounded by English speakers. Good for you, Florin. On WhatsApp. Yeah, WhatsApp is an amazing place to meet and communicate with people from around the world. Layla has been watching. Layla, Lily Al Lily is Layla. She has been always very supportive of me. I'm very thankful, or I want to give a lot of thanks to Layla. Thank you very much, Layla. You are a very special student to me. I always appreciate your support of me and my channels. Grace, you're always kind, and I'm going to meet Grace this Sunday, hopefully, if she doesn't cancel. Thank you. Florin, maybe I can create an English group. Florin, you can make an English group. You can make it with your rules, and if you want, you can invite me. I would join your group, and I would follow your rules. Whatever you want to do in that group, it's a good idea. See you on WhatsApp, Luciana, Tika. See you next time. Kevin, subtitle movie clips. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin, are you in my WhatsApp groups? Samuel, thanks for your help. Sean, I'm Shaw. Robin Shaw. I understand your accent very well. It's very clear. Thank you, Fanny. Remember your promise you make. Bye. Florin, you just make your rules of your English group. For example, my rules are strict. I don't know if you're going to be strict, Florin. Like, for example, in your group, you might have, it's okay to use other languages and talk in English. Samuel asks, what hour do you have now? You should ask, what time do you have now? It's 11:54 p.m. Oh, we have another person here. I'm sorry I don't read Cyric. What's Cyric? I forget the name of the characters. From Russia. Very useful. Thank you, Robin. Well, thank you. What's your name? Thanks a lot. Yes, I joined you there a half hour ago. Okay, great. If you join the WhatsApp group, introduce yourself as Kevin so I know who you are, and we can become friends. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to end the live stream. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question in detail. Ask again in the future. I didn't teach so much today, more just answering questions. I hope you learned something from this live stream. I don't want to waste your time. I want to improve your English, at least improve your listening. So thank you, everyone. Oh, I'm seeing Artyom Okpian. Welcome. Is unend a word? Unend is not a word. Maybe you'd say don't finish or something like that. Anyway, guys, thank you, and I'll talk to you in the WhatsApp group. And remember, my next live stream is Saturday and Sunday. Those are the next two. So same link, same time. See you guys then.